This is a list. When I go to the grocery store, I get a list of things to get. We're practicing for Thanksgiving on Tammy's channel. We have to get pork belly. That's not something we normally get. I have to go to Publix because some of these things are not going to have it. Winn-Dixie.
Full dry place.
Okay, here I go. I got my marching orders right here. Well, there are 2 items on here in my handwriting, which means that, like normal, before I got out the door, I had to... Hey, how's it going? I got on my overalls, and my neighbor, he's retired. He's a retired teacher as well. It's an administrator. Anyway, he asked me, since I got on my overalls, I guess, he said, "Are you farming today?" You know what? I have found that when I wear overalls down here, especially to places like Publix, that people get out of my way. They just get out of my way. So, if you are a man going to the grocery store, number one, you need a list. And you're going to buy, I don't know, I'm not telling men. Men already know this. I'm telling everybody else that doesn't know. You're going to buy exactly what is on the list. You are not going to buy anything that is not on the list. You're not even going to think to buy anything that's not on the list. It doesn't matter if you're out of something, if it is not going to cross your mind, because once you are given a list, in a man's mind, once he is given a list, that list has to be crossed off and done, generally in order of the way it's put on there. So women, if you send your husband to the grocery store with a list, for God's sake, do not give him, like, the first thing doesn't need to be on one side of the grocery store and the second thing be on the other side of the grocery store, because he will go from this side of the grocery store to that side of the grocery store and then go back to the other side of the grocery store for the other thing on the list, exactly in the order that you put it on that list. Try to put it in the order of where it is in the grocery store to save him from taking way longer than is necessary, because believe me, he only wants to be in there as long as is absolutely necessary. He will be in and out as fast as humanly possible, and you need to try to help him. See that? It's a pencil. You're going to need that when you go in there. Some of y'all's husbands, I've got a lot of experience in a grocery store, being that Tammy is Collard Valley Cooks. But some of these men now, you send them in there, I mean, it's like Babe in the Woods. It's like sending a Mormon to the liquor store to find you something. I mean, they have no earthly idea. I've got a little bit of a clue, and even with that, it's not. If I get home and I have everything on this list, there's going to be at least one thing. She's going to say, "Well, did you get any such and such?" And I'm going to say, "No." And she'll say, "Well, we're out of it." And I'll say, "Well, it wasn't on the list." See, if you notice, these are out of order. So that could be a problem for some gentlemen, even a experienced gentleman as myself. Now, of course, if you're really experienced, you realize that you can look up and they have what's in the aisle up here on these signs. But if you're next level, really up in next level, you know that what's on one end of the aisle on the sign is different than what's on the other end of the aisle on the sign. All right, here we go. The last item, and there's always one that they do not have. Seems like every time. Oh, flowers. Ooh, I had that at the end. I better go get those. Even with an experienced shopper, a veteran like me, that took a little while, because there's always like at least one thing you're not sure where it's at, or you just can't see. And I'm going to tell you, if you're a man, because this is going to bother you. If you're in a place like Publix, now not every grocery store is like this, but Publix, somebody, if you're walking around looking for something and really staring and you're a man for some reason, they will ask you if they can help you. Now, that can be kind of scary for a man. And a lot of women don't understand that. They don't understand, well, why would that scare you? Well, because we're used to doing stuff like fishing and hunting and stuff like that. And if you're out on the, out on the water, whew, you guys okay? If you're out on the water or on the, out in the woods or something, and you don't have a clue what you're doing, and you just really kind of look lost, nobody's going to look at you and go, hey, you need some help? I mean, if I'm sitting there and I'm fishing and I'm not catching fish, and I'm just looking like, what am I going to, and I'm looking through my tackle box, and I'm looking at all my rods and reels and trying to figure out what to do. I have not one time yet had somebody come by me and go, hey man, you need some help? We don't get help out there in the wild. So I do have everything on the list except one item. And I'm going to stop at this other grocery store. I'm going to stop at the Winn-Dixie on the way home. And I'm going to look and see if they have that one item. And I will walk straight in, because I know where it is this time. I will walk straight in, go straight to the place where it should be. And if they don't have it, I will walk straight out. All right, now that was awesome. That took me about a minute and a half. I walked straight in there. They had it. I got it. I came back to that. It just makes you feel good, guys. When you can go through the whole list, mark off the whole list. She didn't call me while I was gone and say, oh, I need one more thing, and then I had to turn around and walk back in there. That didn't happen. I got everything marked off the list, and I did it in a timely manner, and I have lunch. Success. Sweet taste of victory right there. Love it. So ladies, you can make your husband feel that way too. You can, or men, if you have a wife that's, can't deal with the grocery store, you can make them feel successful by giving them a list, in the order that they're going to go through the store. Explain to them a few simple things, like the aisles have things on them that tell you what's on the aisle. That would help out a little bit. And then give them a physical pencil or pen to actually mark out the things as they get them, so they feel like they are accomplishing something. And then if you really want to over the top, just go completely over the top when they get home, because this is the way men are. You can say, wow, you got everything. You got exactly what I needed. You did a great job. Now that sounds kind of crazy, because you would think, of course I got everything. You had it on the list. But men are like, they like any kind of praise or any kind of reward kind of a thing. You could give him a sticker. You could say successful grocery sticker and stick it. And you might think he'll think you're crazy, but he won't. He'll think, oh, cool, I got a sticker. It's like getting a trophy. They love it. They like any kind of recognition, any kind of reward. It's like a dog, really. You give them a treat. And even if they know what you're doing, they'll do it again because they like getting the reward. So, just a little hint there for you. And men, it doesn't matter whether you hear it or not, because it'll work. Whether you hear it or whether you know what's happening, it's still going to work. It's still going to work on you. There's nothing. You're helpless to defend against it. On the other hand, if you fuss at him and say, I didn't tell you to get, why did you get this? I wanted such and such. Then the next time you say, I want you to go to the grocery store, then what's going to go through his mind is, I didn't get no reward last time I went to the grocery store. Matter of fact, I got fussed at. I don't want to go to the grocery store again ever in my whole life. I hate the grocery store. I'm never going back. And that's how they think. Oh, and be very descriptive in the things that you write out. If you want white cream style corn, frozen white cream style corn, you can't just put white corn, because he's literally going to buy the first thing that has the words white and the words corn on it. Doesn't matter whether it's in a can, frozen, what the first two items he sees, white corn, he's buying it. I mean, it may be white corn tortilla chips, whatever. He's going to buy, see, if you want it frozen, if you want a certain size, you better tell him the size you want. Because, like I said, he's not going to look at all the sizes and think, what size does she want? He's going to buy the first one he sees. So, just a word of warning there, just to help everybody. I'm just trying to help people out. I'm just trying to help you not get into an entanglement with your spouse. And thanks for watching. Thank you guys for watching. I probably don't say enough about the people that subscribe and the people that comment, stuff like that, because I read all the comments, which is easy on my channel. It's not like Tammy's channel, but we read all the comments on Tammy's channels, on Facebook and YouTube. We read every single one of them. My channel, I read them twice because there's not many, so I read them and read them over again. But anyway, thank you guys for watching Nichols Retirement Empire.